Thank you, Chairman. I was asked to address particularly the science, and the science is very clear. More than 50% of hard coral has been lost in the last 27 years, and the prognosis is, as the witness put it, rather poor. That's a euphemism for saying the reef is stuffed, I think, which is a technical scientific term which was not used in this presence, but I have heard used by one of his distinguished colleagues. The reason I think it's fair to expect continuing decline is the two outlook reports identified the four threatening processes: climate change, coastal development, water quality as a result of runoff and pressures of fishing. The second report said all of those four pressures still exist, and there's no reason in the immediate future to see any of those pressures declining. And the defendants are clearly responsible in the sense that the Queensland Government is directly responsible for coastal development, for water quality and for fishing, and the Australian Government is responsible for fishing through its sabotage of the marine protected areas and for climate change through its lack of a response. And both governments are clearly promoting acceleration of climate change by encouraging further coal exports, and this is being encouraged by their cheer squad in the Murdoch press, which today said, and I quote, "If bread is the stuff of life," their quote, not mine, "if bread is the stuff of life, coal is the stuff of civilization." Just as one particular indicator of change, coral bleaching events were comparatively rare in the 20th century, but the evidence we were given is that they're now occurring at about 4-year intervals. Dr. Holmes' colleague, Professor Irv Bilberg, says that on current trends, by 2030, every year will be a coral bleaching year with catastrophic impact. And it's another indication of accelerating climate change, which seems to have escaped the attention of the Commonwealth Government and some who advise them. On my way here, I saw that Sydney had a 1 in 100 year storm yesterday. And I don't know if you've noticed, but we seem to be getting 1 in 100 year events every year recently, which suggests that the climate is changing. Just a final point, it seems to me that while a new legal framework and a better jurisprudence would be desirable, the defendants are clearly failing to meet their legal obligations that they now have to protect the Great Barrier Reef as signatories to the World Heritage Convention, as signatories to the International Convention on Biological Diversity. And I remind you that the Franklin Dams case, Commonwealth versus State of Tasmania in 1983, held that the Commonwealth not only had a right under the External Affairs Power, but arguably a duty as party to international convention to override actions at the state level which are in conflict with those treaty responsibilities. The two defendants are also parties through COAG to the 1992 National Strategy on Ecologically Sustainable Development, which commit them to maintain equity within and between generations, with particular responsibility for biological diversity and the integrity of natural systems. The Universal Declaration of Mother Earth would be a step forward, but I think it's clear the defendants are not fulfilling their obligations under current law. So my view is that the plaintiff is clearly suffering grievous bodily harm. Blood is spattered on the steel cap boots and fluoro vests of both defendants, and I support the view that action should be taken under the universal rights of nature.